All right, Harry, you've been very quiet, Harry. What you have to say about all of this?
I've rather been listening tonight, neighbor. I'm a listener.
And a
I
learner,
give
and a
everybody.
learner.
Of course, neighbor. Sometimes you have to take a seat back and um, consume the information and well, consume the data, turn the information now to put it forward. But I think with all that has been said, the major thing when it comes on to leadership and leadership in politics going to an election has to all be about who controls resources and access to that resource, right? This is a time where
That is
who
a very
gets
important point. Eh?
it,
Yeah.
it is one of the vital thing, neighbor, right? Because that lets you know where you are when it comes down to strongholds. So if you can, it's all about who gets what, when, and where. And this case is who can garner the biggest resource for the party itself. Who can, so you don't have to put up the resource yourself, right? You can get access to it. And if you can control that access, let's say, for example, you have 5 of 10 big spenders and persons with resources that can command these resources and they side with you. It doesn't matter who else come up against you, if they don't have another 5, they can't match you.
Right.
And that is something that Mark Gold has actually done rather well. He has put together his own team to back him. Those persons who may not even have the resources, but also can command access to other resources elsewhere. So he's diversified very well in that regard.
Yes.
But also he has done something that others haven't realized. We hear point to it, but never explicitly stated, neighbor. Why I think the opposition is currently so weak, especially the new persons coming in. They can't garner any strength from anywhere. They aren't well respected. They aren't well informed. They're a bunch of newbies. He has weakened internally the oppositional party so he can be stronger than they are, right? And that is also a strategy because none of these persons who are coming in have any form of affluence, neighbor. But he does. And yes, he is the senior for them, but he has worked his way right throughout the very sectors that these persons are now coming up into. For example, let's say Zulika Jess in law. Mark Golding is a lawyer. He passed through that. He helped coin some of the bills in Jamaica. Financial sector. He has Bunting and those guys on his side. So he would have already gone through these areas, know the ins and outs, and know that they can't challenge him. They have to just side with him or stand aside. And that is how you control resources, which is why I say it is who gets what, when, and where. And if you can hold 2 of the 3 of those things, then you can now dictate in a large part the distribution as to how you can help the party. If everybody else don't have that same level, they can't. So let's take a look at Damian Crawford. A very good businessman, we joke around and tell him about him good farm.
Poor businessman, Harry.
No man, hold on a second.
Weird.
No man, he's the face of it. I have information on the liquid. Hold on a second. The liquid egg business is a very good one, right? But he's not the sole owner of it.
The idea is a good one, but the business is not being run good. I feel left, right, and center.
No man, his private investor knows what they're doing with that, right? But he doesn't have the money to put up, and he will never put it up. If it's one thing with him, he will not put his own money to back anything. As much as he will bet on himself, him still not put up the money. You have Julian Robinson, who is a non-competitor. To be honest,
2% of the goats alive. they were killed by the hurricane.
Struggling business.
There was over 1.8 million animals in the hurricane,
That business struggling.
So, and they had the chickens on them.
Struggling business, man, neighbor.
So with that as well, neighbor, right? If you look at the persons who may be good in principle to move the party forward, right? To satisfy potentially a standard that we would love to see. That is also one of probably the 5 things that is needed. They don't
Yes.
command a large base of the People's National Party. They don't have the resources, right? They may have somewhat of charisma, but those characters have been tarnished. So that's the third thing.
Yes.
You also now have to find a way to unify and be taken seriously. And none of those guys, you can take them serious. They're the risers and so on in the People's National Party. Don't take those guys seriously. The only true figures that they may take seriously are those who are with Mark Golding as it stands currently. Why you think him can brag on the 100,000 increase voters that they got between 2020 and 2025? Right? They saw it, and that's why he pointed to it. He must say, me do this, and my work this. And the others who back him will see that as success. Because he stepped up in a time when they were, quote unquote, at their worst, and them get an additional 100,000 votes and an additional 14 seats. That is why he's speaking so heavily on it, because that is performance for them, right? That is what they see as performance. So them back him, and we say, all right, if we can back him in at times of turmoil and him give this. Let's say no, if we back him a little bit more, we maybe can cross the line. No, that is
all right.
unproven.
Harry, you have a guess. You have a guess, Harry. See what he wants though. When a footer.
Neighbor.
Hello,
That's
sir.
the footer?
Good
Yeah.
night.
Good night, sir.
Be careful, neighbor.
Hold on.
Good night, footer. What's your contribution to the conversation?
So now I'm asking, why are you guys so indulged in IPNP business?
Hold on, footer. Let me complete.
Neighbor.
What is your contribution to the hold on.
PNP
What's
do
your
have no
contribution?
business. PNP do have no business.
Hold on, Scratchy. What's your contribution to the conversation that we're having? That's the key part.
I am asking a question. Why are you guys so indulged in
PNP do have no business. Footer PNP
So that
have no
means
business.
so PNP not have no business. I'm not sit up here so long talking about PNP. So so what
We
I
are
say about
Jamaicans. We are Jamaicans, and we are talking about
No.
worthless or opposition
Neighbor.
parties.
neighbor, the People's National Party have a leader in Mark Jefferson Golden, right?
Isn't he the opposition leader?
He is the leader
why
of the
should we
People's
not?
National Party, right?
And the opposition leader of Jamaica.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Footer.
Yes.
I'm speaking to you for the first time.
No, it's not the first time.
Okay, let me ask you. Can I ask you a question, sir?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you live in Jamaica?
Of course, I live in Jamaica.
Are you concerned about the government of Jamaica? Are you concerned?
Of course.
The government of Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
and the governing of Jamaica. You are concerned about that?
Yes.
But then if you are, then the PNP is part of that. The PNP is not an isolated group apart from the governing of Jamaica. You know, they are the
governing of
Hold on. They are by the constitution part of how Jamaica is governed. You know that?
The part of hold on. What is what?
Hold on, sir. Hold on. Did you know that the opposition leader appoints 8 members to the Senate?
Yes, I know that.
That means that he's part of the governing structure of Jamaica. So why is what is wrong with having a discussion about governing in Jamaica?
So it would be basically what you guys are doing. There's
no man. You are being absurd, sir. Please don't bother with the foolishness.
So hold on. I
am not speaking.
But I'm talking.
No, just give me another minute.
May the host talk, Footer.
The host was talking, and I listened to the host. So why?
The time up. You can't come over here and tell the host what to do.
Footer, calm down, Footer. That's why it's Ketatek with Aisha and I know. Calm down, Footer.
Hold on, sir. We're not talking about here the Democratic Party in the United States or the Republican. We're talking about the People's National Party, which is the alternative government. Okay, sir? The people of Jamaica on September 3rd were asked to make a choice between these two parties. they are very important to the discussion and to the democracy. You don't agree with that?
Me you talking to?
Yes, I'm asking you if you don't think that the People's National Party is an important institution in Jamaica's democracy.
Yes.
So why shouldn't we discuss them?
So, no, because what happened, hold on, there's a lot of things that's going on in the country, right? That the person that have the more control and the more directing the way that the country is going. And you guys don't discuss it. Look on it, what happened in that.
You can't tell us, you can't come up here and tell us what to talk about.
Hold on, neighbor.
No.
Neighbor, with all due respect, you guys been talking, and anytime when one of your
Dennis Garden.
Well, anytime one of your friends talk, you listen, you don't interrupt them and so forth. So can I make my point?
Hold on, Footer. You want us to talk about Dennis Garden then?
Brother, I'm not talking to you. Right? Just eat something.
If you don't talk to me, I will come off of the platform then if you don't talk to me.
Your platform, brother. I never request you.
Yes, brother, you have to go come off if you don't talk to me. You have to come off.
Neighbor.
You have to come off if you don't talk to me.
Why on the free? Right?
You can never be afraid to talk to you. This bigger than you.
No, man. And I love to sit down. And I love to sit down and have non-basic.
Footer, this bigger than you. Go look for Aishana. Go and go look for Aishana and go. It's bigger than you.
Let's make something clear for the listeners. You see, the PNP is not isolated from governing. You know, as a matter of fact, I tell you this: as long as you and I live, a third party will never survive in Jamaica. These two are going to be with us for as long as we live. No third party will come up in Jamaica. As in the United States, I think maybe Britain, the United Kingdom may be a little different. We've seen Nigel Farage and his party leading in the polls there. But Jamaica, very, very strong two-party system we have here in Jamaica. We should discuss the party, the PNP, and we must discuss them regular and every day. Not true, Harry? Harry? No.
But I didn't hear you there. Go ahead.
I'm saying to you, sir, that we must discuss the PNP and we must discuss them very regular too. They are important to the process, eh?
And thoroughly, neighbor. Thoroughly. with microscopic lens. Because remember, you know, it is easy for us to put the government under the same lens because a lot more is out there. But when you see the opposition, you know, I want to be kind, but I can't be kind in this case. So I won't even say mistakes. When they're being deliberately misleading and intellectually disingenuous and putting spin on things that affect the coffers of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica, then you throw them under the microscopic lens and take what they're doing apart so the people can know that wolf in sheep clothing does not work. It is still in existence. So you can spray over neighbor an old car and outside look clean and nice, right? But the engine now work, it can't drive. And you have to expose it for what it is. And as long as the People's National Party are a part of the governance in this country, they will not be away from the discussion. You cannot. Am I
not correct, Harry, that if it was a member of the Jamaica Labour Party this morning that was arrested on allegation of sexual molestation or was involved in anything remotely resembling jamming, every PNP platform would be awash. They would start some new one to be discussing it.
Neighbor, all who don't know if you click alive. And that is the truth.
Yes.
Because everybody want on the hype train and, you know, get the clout that comes with it and you share their own thoughts and whatever just to beat it down, right? But we have to understand this. Any measuring stick we hold the government of today with. We have to hold the opposition, who is also vying to be the government in the next election and whenever. So you can't use, and this is the rhetoric for these people. And it's normally the older folks, Scratchy Mel said them are our senior, They're the ones who are rooted in this understanding that we should have two different measuring sticks for both parties. No. If you want the same office, which is to lead the people of Jamaica, we have one standard and one standard only. You either meet it, or you go and find ways to meet it, and or you step aside and let those who are competent to do so. This is not one where we're moving Jamaica in an area where there's one rule for PNP and one for JLP.